Do you guys ever worry that you are going to die before you can read all the books that you want to read? Hey there, welcome to the Millennial Book Junkie. My name is Monique, and today we're going to be talking all about the massive amount of books that I have received over the last few months. I have been collecting a lot of books over the last few months. I would say the last 6 months, I got a bunch of books, but I'm not really sure which books I've told you guys about and which books I haven't. So I'm only going to share with you the books that I definitely have not shared with you. And those are the books that I got over the last 2-3 months. So books that I got for Christmas, books where I was randomly going to bookstores. And I'm really excited to share them because it gives me an opportunity to revisit them because as you know, when you buy a book and you don't plan on reading it for a while, you kind of forget about it. So I'm really excited to actually go through these books with you guys, share with you which ones I got, which ones I'm really excited to read. And I might even bump some of these higher on my TBR just because now that I'm rereading what they're about, I'm really excited to start reading them. Oh my gosh. Imagine if you were always trying to hold like your physical TBR. Like it's just not possible. It's just so many books. I think I have a problem. Actually, no, I have a problem. But I just feel like I need to read all the books. So yeah, these are all the books that I'm going to share with you. We'll just take it one by one. I'm really excited to talk about all these. So one of the first books that I'm going to share with you today that I got is a collection of ghost stories. And this one is called I Was Alive Here Once. And that title really grabbed me. It was in the horror section of Barnes & Noble. I saw it there. I did not buy it. The next day, I went to a smaller indie bookstore, saw it there again, and I was like, I have to buy it. It's haunting me. It's calling me. It wants me to have it. This short story collection is really cool because it's actually by authors from around the world, from Poland to Yemen to Iceland to Thailand. Like these are ghost stories told by authors from around the world, which makes them sound really creepy. And I'm really excited to dive into these because these are all basically ghost stories across a wide range of genres, including romance, including fantasy and horror, of course. And so that just drew me to it. But if I'm honest, what drew me most to this book is the title, I Was Alive Here Once. I mean, that just sounds devastating, sad, spooky. I cannot wait to read these stories. Okay, before I share with you these next 3 books that I bought, I just have to let you know that I have been trying to collect like the smaller chunky paperbacks, not only because they're easier to fit into my shelf, but also because I'm really nostalgic for the smaller paperbacks that we used to read growing up. And the first one of those is No Exit by Taylor Adams. Also, they're cheaper, so yes. Just holding this is giving me so much nostalgia. V.C. Andrews, Dean Koontz, Stephen King, smaller paperbacks for the win. This one is a thriller that I have heard a lot about. It is about a girl who is traveling through the Rocky Mountains in a snowstorm, trying to get to her mom who is dying. But she ends up getting stranded at a rest stop with 4 other people. Very spooky. They have no Wi-Fi. They can't call anyone. But aside from that, the main character goes outside and parked next to her car is a van. And inside that van is a little girl inside of a crate. Now, if this plot line doesn't grab you, I really don't know what to tell you because this really had me and I am really, really excited to read this. I have heard such good things. The next small chunky paperback I'm so excited to share with you guys is The House Across the Lake by Riley Sager. I bought this at a small indie bookstore in Del Mar, and this is the one I bought with the Ghost Story collection. And I don't know about you, but doesn't a small Riley Sager sound so fun and nostalgic? I feel like I've read the only one left, and that one was like based in the 80s. And so I just feel like reading a small Riley Sager is just giving me really good feels right now. This one is about a woman who is a widow. She goes to take some solace on a cabin on a lake. I think it's a family cabin. When she gets there, she finds out there's a couple across the lake in another cabin. And the guy is some tech innovator and the woman is like a former model. She starts kind of spying on them with her binoculars. And then one day she actually saves the woman from drowning. And so they form a bond, they form a friendship, but then the woman vanishes. And who knows what happens next? It's usually the husband, but in a thriller, sometimes it's not. So I'm really excited to read this one. The next chunky paperback we're going to talk about is Girl Forgotten by Karen Slaughter. I'm trying to collect like the Karen Slaughter books, but this one I got for $1 at my local library, and I am living for the size of this book. This one is about a young girl in 1982 who disappears on her prom night. And her family and her friends are very tight-lipped about what happened even ages later when a U.S. Marshal comes to town and tries to figure out what happened to her while also investigating a judge who is receiving death threats. Have you read this book? Let me know, because I think this one is a standalone and I've only read Pretty Girls. Very, very excited to start this one. The next book I bought is one that I got for Christmas, The Last Mrs. Parrish by Liv Constantine. I know that you guys have probably already read this one. I have not. I have been itching to get my hands on it, so I'm so glad that I got it for Christmas. This one is about a woman who basically wants to be another woman. The other woman she's trying to be is like some very successful blonde with blue eyes who has like a husband and kids and this perfect life. So she tries to start inserting herself into this woman's life, but also she has a secret she doesn't want to get out. And of course, I'm sure the secret gets out at some point and there's very troubling consequences. So I've heard a lot of good things about this one. I'm pretty sure this one is becoming a movie soon too. Really, really excited. This next book is a folk horror book called Withered Hill. I got this one from my sister who traveled to London, and she got this at a bookstore in London, and I was like, yes, gimme, gimme, gimme. This one is about a woman named Sophie who wakes up with amnesia. She's naked and stumbling through an old town, and the people of the town have animal masks. When she gets there, she can't decide if she's a prisoner or if maybe she just likes it there and wants to stay. But also before this, she had been leading kind of a hedonistic life, drinking a lot, spending time with a lot of strange men. And so I have no idea what's going to happen in this book, to be honest, but it had some good reviews on Goodreads. And I haven't read a folk horror like, I don't know, in a long time or ever. So I really want to read this one. The next book is another one I got for Christmas. It's called Darling Girls by Sally Hepworth. I feel like you have heard about this book. I mean, I've seen it everywhere. This is about 3 girls who are living with a foster parent named Miss Fairchild. These 3 girls escaped a tragic circumstance to be with Miss Fairchild, but then Miss Fairchild turns into something that is probably even worse than what they escaped. She cannot be crossed. You do not want to cross this woman. Well, eventually the girls escape Miss Fairchild, but years later, they find out there's a body that's been found under the house where they used to live. And are they witnesses to this? Are they suspects? What is going on here? I don't know, but I am intrigued and I'm very, very excited. And this is one of those books that when I revisited the back of the book to see what it was about, I was like, I gotta read this next. This sounds too good. Have you read this one? Let me know. All right, the next book that I got recently, also for Christmas, was Incidents Around the House by Josh Malerman. Oh my gosh, I have seen this book everywhere. This one also I think is gonna be a movie. This is about a little girl who is haunted by an entity who she calls Other Mommy. Yeah, and her family is trying to help her, like, not talk to this mommy. I don't think it goes well. And the creepy thing is that this other mommy is always asking this little girl, can I enter your heart? No. Freaky. I can't wait. If you also don't know this author, he's the one that wrote Bird Box. You know, that was adapted into like a Netflix film that was so good. So I am just like, I feel like I'm having major FOMO by not reading this book. And apparently it's very creepy and I cannot wait. The next book in my massive winter haul is Fantasticland by Mike Bakovin. And I'm really excited about this one because I've also seen some things. This one is about a theme park that got destroyed in a hurricane. And all the people who survived, the employees in the theme park, start kind of turning into their own little tribe and putting heads on spikes and sharing it on social media. And this book reads like an investigative series. Basically, it's a series of interviews trying to figure out what happened at this theme park. And I am here for all of this. Have you read this? This seems creepy. I feel like I'm going to be really grossed out, but I'm ready for it. The next book is one I got for Christmas. It is called Before I Go to Sleep by S.J. Watson. This book is about a woman who every time she goes to sleep, she loses her memories. And every time she wakes up, her husband reminds her of who she is and how she lost her memory with pictures and labels and things to help her remember why she loses her memory every night. Eventually, some mysterious doctor comes to visit her and like shows her some old journals that she used to write saying, actually, honey, your husband is lying to you and this is not actually who you are. Sounds really good and I am very, very excited to start it. Have you guys heard of this one? Have you read anything by this author? Let me know in the comments. Okay, you guys, things just keep getting scarier around here. I think I have a problem. Next up is Mary by Nat Cassidy, who is an author I'm sure you are all very familiar with. When the Wolf Comes Home, Rest Stop. I mean, these are these books that I need to read, but this is one that I got for Christmas from my sister who just knows me too well. This is about a woman named Mary. She's middle-aged, she's going through some hot flashes, some body aches, but she's also passing out every time she looks into a mirror. And she decides something is wrong with her. She's going to move back home and see if she can kind of find herself. But when she gets there, she starts doing weird things like auto writing, and she's having all these visions. And she finds out that everything that's happening to her is echoing a serial killer. And I am very excited to see what happens next. I also really want to read When the Wolf Comes Home, but I have this one, so I think I'll start with this one. God knows when, but I'm excited. The next book that I got recently from Book of the Month is It's Not Her by Mary Kubica. I recently went to one of her book signings, so she signed this one for me. Very excited, and I'll link to that video up above. But this one is about a woman who wakes up on a family vacation to screaming in the place next door. And it turns out when she gets there, her brother and sister-in-law are dead, and her niece is missing, and her nephew is just sleeping quietly upstairs. And she has to figure out what happened. I am here for this. I have not read any Mary Kubica, and that is all going to change this month in March. I am reading this book this month in March, and I'm very, very excited. Next up, we have another one that I got for Christmas, The Hitchhikers by Chevy Stevens. Are you squealing? I am squealing on the inside. I have read Those Girls by Chevy Stevens. I have still missing a library book by Chevy Stevens that I'm reading next as well, but this is one that I own, and it's about a couple who, after kind of a devastating thing that happens to them, they decide to take a road trip in Canada in their RV. And while they're on this road trip, they come across these two hitchhikers. And these hitchhikers look like they're down on their luck, so they take them in. And apparently that then turns into their worst nightmare. I cannot wait for this. I've heard good things. Have you read any Chevy Stevens? I think it's about time. If you haven't, you need to start with Those Girls. That one was so good, and I'm gonna read all her backlist now. And so that's it. Those are all the books that I've collected over the last few months. There's probably more, which I'll share with you as I read them, but these are the ones that I got most recently that I'm really excited to dig into. Have you read any of these? I would love to know. Let me know in the comments, and let me know if you've recently got any new books that you're very excited about. Until next time, guys, if you like this video, don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will talk to you next time. Bye.